deltoid, and we're just going to do a bit of muscle testing to find out how strong your back is actually feeling.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to ask you to do is hold your arm up, and I'm going to ask you to resist me pushing down. So I'm going to push down, you hold it. And we use the off switch, which is just here, stop me pushing, and you shouldn't be able to lift it up. So now I'm just going to run down through your back, and we're just going to see. So push up for me, and again push up, push up. Okay, so there's a little bit in here, so creating a bit of weakness. Push up for me, push up, push up. So a little bit in there. So you might find, push up, that there's nowhere near where you're actually feeling weakness. Push up. I often find that when you get so focused on an area, okay, so the pelvis is still a little bit out. Stop me pushing. Okay, and on that side. Stop me pushing. Not so bad. And again, stop me pushing. And stop me pushing. Okay. So it is actually the whole of this side of the pelvis is still not functioning as well as it should. So I'm going to get you to lie on your tummy for me. Oh, glasses.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Over here.
I'm so used to just having them on.
Yeah, it just becomes part of you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to drop that a little bit. Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
You breathe okay? Okay, so I'm going to use your hamstring, and we're just going to check that again. So I'm going to ask you to resist me pushing the leg back down to the couch. So stop me pushing. Good. Then I'll get you to press the off switch, which is just here. Put your thumb across your finger like that. Okay, and stop me pushing. Okay, and then you can't resist that, and that goes on. So, when you were sitting, it was this side in 3 different points that was weak. So we're going to do the same. So stop me pushing. So that's strong again. Oh, you can take your thumb off that.
Okay, yeah.
Stop me pushing. Good, that should be super strong. Okay, so I'm going to go from here to here. Stop me pushing. That one's not so bad. And stop me pushing. That one is weak. Now come up a bit higher and do this one. Stop me pushing. Because that was actually weak. Stop me pushing. Stop me pushing. Okay, so it could be coccyx. So stop me pushing. Yeah, do you feel how weak that goes?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just see if put a bit of compression on it. So I'm going to push your sacrum lower. Stop me pushing. No, you can recruit that way. So then I'm going to put a bit of pressure up towards your back. Stop me pushing. Yeah, and that blows it out completely, doesn't it? So, whatever is going on here, it doesn't like an upward movement. And maybe when you're sitting for long periods of time, you're pushing that weight up into your pelvis slightly. And then it's creating a bit of weakness, and maybe that's what you're feeling. That's kind of long term. So let's just see if that is an injury. So I'm going to tap your foot. And then stop me pushing. No, so it doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to put my finger here again. Stop me pushing. And stop me pushing. Okay, so it's just here. And then I'm going to push it upwards. Stop me pushing. No, push it inwards. Stop me pushing. Yeah. And I'm going to hold that and tap your foot. Okay, and stop me pushing. No, so that is not an old injury. That is just genuinely something that's going on here. So I'm going to stretch these 2 points. Stop me pushing. And I'm going to pinch them together. Stop me pushing. Okay, so that's saying that actually there's a little bit of a nerve issue right the way down here. So let's go this way. Stop me pushing. Yeah. And stop me pushing. And stop me pushing. Okay, and stop me pushing. Okay, so you could also, there's like a little tiny tailbone we've got called the coccyx. And I'm right on the border of the sacrum and the coccyx. And it could well be that you've just got a little displacement of the coccyx here. And because the nerves come out, 4 of them, down here, it could be there's just impinging slightly here, which is why this keeps getting weak. So what I'm going to do is find what makes that stronger. So we find what makes it weaker again. Stop me pushing. Yeah. And in here, stop me pushing. That's not too bad. In here. Okay. And then if I push it forwards, stop me pushing. And then I bring it back, stop me pushing. So it actually gets much weaker when I bring it back, doesn't it? So it's almost like it needs to be pushed forward and this way. So stop me pushing. No, it doesn't want to be that way. and push it forwards. Stop me pushing. Maybe just pushing it forwards. Okay. Relax the leg there. Okay, so I'm just going to sweep this way slightly, okay? So take a breath in for me. And out. Okay, let's try that. And stop me pushing. Good, nice and strong. Stop me pushing. Good, stop me pushing. Good. Stop me pushing. Just gonna stop me pushing. Good, that's much better, isn't it? Stop me pushing. Good. And stop me pushing. Okay, so I just need you to see if you can switch that off again. Do you remember where that was?
Yeah.
On the side, yeah, just come up a little bit there. Because I just want to check that it's not just something going, ah!
Yeah.
Okay, stop me pushing. No, good. And that switches off. So that's good. We didn't know that before, but sometimes when you first come in, there's so much to fix.
Yeah.
You don't know where to focus.
I did think that.
And when you start to settle these things down, which is why I always say try and have 4 treatments, because normally by the 3rd or 4th treatment, we've only got a tiny bit to focus on, and we fix that, and the whole thing gets much better. Okay, so let's just go through your spine again, because there was a couple of stresses in here as well. Stop me pushing. Good. I've got my hand here. Stop me pushing. A little bit weak. Stop me pushing. Not there. Stop me pushing. Something in here, isn't there? Let's just check the ribs. Stop me pushing. Not on that side. Stop me pushing. No, so it's definitely central. Is it this one? You can get very specific. So that one there goes weak. Stop me pushing. And stop me pushing. So we're going to treat this one. Stop me pushing. Because that goes really weak. If you can just rest your head on your chin for me and look up at the wall. I'll get that for you. Stop me pushing. Okay, now back to neutral. So relax the leg. Let me get the piece of paper. It wasn't your fault. Sorry. It's tough with these things. You get you a whole new piece in a minute.
That's fine. Cheers.
Okay, so again, stop me pushing. Legs not getting too tired.
No, it's fine.
Okay, stop me pushing. And stop me pushing. And that's not that one. This one there. Stop me pushing. Yeah. Okay, so it's not that. So I'm just going to put my fingers on here. Stop me pushing. Okay, so it's definitely this. So if I twist it this way, stop me pushing, that goes strong. And if I twist it this way, stop me pushing, that goes weak. So always in the position of strength. So I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to stretch across the bone here. Stretch the tissues. So this is indicative of an interosseous fault, which means that the either the fascia or the ligaments have twisted and pulled on the tissues of the bone, which is called periosteum, and that is okay. That felt much better. Let's just see. Stop me pushing. So sometimes it's just like an impact thing. Stop me pushing. Good. Stop me pushing. Good. And put my hand flat. Stop me pushing. Much stronger, hey? And then again. Stop me pushing. And again. And again. And again. Okay, so it's going to be a week here. So we're going to find out which one. This one. Yeah. Check the others. Stop me pushing. Yeah. And this one, not so much. But that one is weak. And this one is weak. And obviously the camera can't see how much I'm pushing on your leg.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels weak when I've touched those points, doesn't it?
I tried the same amount.
Yeah. And I'm trying the same amount. I'm not pushing any harder. Stop me pushing. So that one there. So then I'm going to get you to do the same looking up for me. So that's it. Well done. And stop me pushing. Okay. So that one does indicate that this is an old injury. So you can put your head down for me, good. And I'm just going to try and release that. I'm going to do it through your base of your skull. So this is a injury recall technique. So what happens is that the body is aware of an old injury in the system, and it goes into protection mode. So when somebody touches that point again, it kind of goes, oh, don't think I want you to do that. And I'm just resetting it from the base of the skull and the ankles. Okay, let's see. Doesn't mean that there's not something else in there. Stop me pushing. Good. Stop me pushing. Good. Stop me pushing. Good. Stop me pushing. And stop me pushing. Stop me pushing. Okay, so there's a little injury in here. I'm going to tap your feet this time because it's closer to your feet than your head. Stop me pushing. Okay, and that's an old injury as well. And I'm going to correct it from the ankle, so I'm just going to release some of the, or create some movement in the ankle joint to release the injury. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Stop me pushing. Good. Stop me pushing. Oh, there's still something in there because that wasn't strong, was it?
No, you can feel it.
Okay, so if I get you to stop me pushing, and get you to stop me pushing, so that's strong, and then we go to this one, stop me pushing, yeah, and there is still something to there. So again, rattle the foot, try it again, stop me pushing. This time should stay strong because we released the last one. Then we're going to look for the interosseous fault, stop me pushing, okay, and that does switch it off. So what should switch it back on is if we go this way, stop me pushing, and that feels strong again, yeah? Okay, relax the leg down. So it's actually the opposite way to the way the joints went at the top. And sometimes we can get an impact either through our bottoms, which might make sense with the coccyx, and it ricochets up your spine. And sometimes it can be from your head down, and the coccyx gets it because the vibrational movement of the injury through your body. I was learning about vibration with Isaac today for listening. So cool, that teaches 7-year-olds how ears work. Stop me pushing. Stop me pushing. Good. Okay, put my hand here, stop me pushing. Right, let's try your pelvis again. Stop me pushing. Something is not quite right there. Stop me pushing. And stop me pushing. And it's not quite right there. But we're going to come back to the coccyx, so I'm going to go here. Stop me pushing. Stop me pushing. And pull this way. And this way. Okay, so that's good. That I'm happy with that. Stop me pushing. So we're going to clear this first. So this is category 3, pelvis, which means that there is some sort of nerve or disc involvement in the pelvis, and that the pelvis is kind of moving to protect the back. So I'm just going to do some fascial release on this and get it to come back in the right place. And most of the time, what my clients say is that they don't really feel that I'm doing anything, but it feels better afterwards.
Yeah.
And that's true, right?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel like that I've been doing what else, you know what I mean?
But I think that lots of people come to a chiropractor expecting to get a, click and a crack and a...
Too bad, or you know what to expect.
Didn't you?
Never been.
Most people have watched, some horror movie chiropractic adjustments on YouTube. Stop me pushing. And stop me pushing. That's why I always do a chat with people to start with, just to make sure you know that I'm not one of those chiropractors. Because I wouldn't want people to be disappointed. Oh. So there's still a weakness at L5. Okay, so we cleared the 2 things. So it might just be a fixation. So I'll flick it to one side. Stop me pushing. Okay, so that definitely makes it weaker. Now flick it to the other side. Stop me pushing. And that's strong. And now take a breath in and hold it, Ollie. Stop me pushing. And breathe out. And hold it. Stop me pushing. Okay. So I actually made it a bit stronger when you breathed in. So we're going to just clear that. So breathe in for me. And out. And breathe in. And out. Good. And breathe in. And out. Okay, let's see if that helps. Stop me pushing. Good. Stop pushing. Good. Stop pushing. Stop pushing. Okay, that's much better. Okay, let the leg rest down. I'm going to let that hamstring rest. Just see if there's anything I missed. There's a little bit on the right hand side, just here. Just down here. Awesome. Okay, start pushing. Start pushing. Start pushing. Okay, so sometimes these things only show with movement, so I'm going to wiggle the joint. Start pushing. Yeah, do you feel how we feel it? And sometimes you can feel the dysfunction, you can feel that it's not right, but everything says, no, it's fine. You can touch it, it's fine. And then give it a little wiggle. And start pushing, and you can feel the whole thing goes. Okay, so we're going to clear the fixation, start pushing. I'm going to do it this way, start pushing. Okay, so it's weak this way. Take a breath in and hold it for me. Start pushing. Okay, good. And that super strengthens with a push on this side. So breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Good. Okay. And start pushing. Start pushing. Oh, it's still there. A little bit. Start pushing. So I'm going to wiggle it. Start pushing. Yeah, it's still there. Okay. Start pushing. Squeeze together. Start pushing. Start pushing. There it is. Okay, so if I squeeze this together, start pushing. Okay, relax the leg down. So I'm just going to ease these 2 points together. Strengthen the joint. Okay, breathe in for me. And out. And breathe in. And out. Good. And breathe in. And out. Okay, so I'm going to retest. Stomach and pushing. Stomach pushing. Good, that feels stronger. Stomach pushing. Okay, so now we're just going to do the stomach pushing. But he wasn't sure about it, to be honest with you. I'm just going to get very specific. Stomach pushing. No, it's much stronger. Okay, relax the leg. Let's just see if that feels like it's relaxed a bit. Still there a little bit. Just in here on this right hand side.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Can you feel that there? Yeah.
Yeah.
It just means the muscle, because it's the muscle on this side that's tight. So it's kind of like doing this and pulling away from the other side, which is where the injury was. Okay, let's just see if that will clear with a bit of injury release. That's better, isn't it? Okay, and start. So start pushing. Good. And again. And again. Okay, move the joints. And again. Good. So that feels solid now, doesn't it? Okay, I'm just going to run down through the pelvis and back again. Start pushing. And again. And again. And again. And again. Okay, so there are certain bits that's still not feeling quite right, so it doesn't feel quite right up here. Stomach pushing. Yeah. And there's a little bit still in here, but I think it's a bit higher up. Stomach pushing. Yeah, there's just one in here. Stomach pushing. And again. Yeah, it's there. But often when you clear one thing, that was all holding on, and it then changes the tension in other parts of the back. So we find stuff. Stomach pushing. Yeah, look at you. You feel your foot just kind of flex and went, I will protect myself. Okay, so tap your foot and see if that's an injury as well. Stomach pushing. That's good. Still pushing. Still pushing. Okay, and flick it. Still pushing. Still pushing. Okay, so this is the side, I think. And take a breath in and hold it. Stomach pushing. Good. And then relax back down. Okay, and breathe in and out. Good. Don't need much more than that. Stomach pushing. Good. Stomach pushing. And there's still something in here. Stomach pushing. Stomach pushing. Stomach pushing. Yeah. Stomach pushing. And then just wiggly going there. Not really a conclusive no. That relax your leg for me a minute. That's it. Good. Okay, and then resist me pushing. Good. And resist me pushing. And again. And again. And again. Okay, straight pelvis. And again. And again. Good. Okay, that felt fairly strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come and lie on your back for me.